Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Transgender Day of Visibility Rally. Today's rally comes at a difficult time for the trans community, as I'm sure many of you know. Recent changes in laws and executive orders have put our rights at risk, from bans on transgender participation in sports to restrictions of access to healthcare. Many of the protections that we once relied on have been weakened or eliminated. So the need for this day and for this rally is more urgent than it has been in many, many years. But why rally? Why gather? What does this accomplish? This rally serves as a public declaration that we will continue to fight for equality, dignity, and respect. We know that visibility is a powerful tool for change. Transgender individuals often face erasure in society, and Trans Day of Visibility provides an opportunity to make sure transgender people are seen, heard, and supported. We know that when people are visible, they are more likely to be accepted, understood, and protected. So in the face of the world today, it is a time for our community to come together, raise awareness about the challenges transgender people face, and call for the protection of our rights. This rally is for everyone, transgender people, allies, and the broader community, to show support for equality and inclusivity. We've got a few speakers, we've got some music, we've got a lot of camaraderie set up for you, okay? To start things off, we're gonna get some chanting going. Malia?
I'm here. All right, so glad you guys are here. Let's let our voices be heard. Trans lives matter. Trans lives matter. Trans lives matter. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. When trans rights are under attack, stand up, fight back. When trans rights are under attack, stand up, fight back. When trans rights are under attack, stand up, fight back. When trans rights are under attack, stand up, fight back. Protect trans kids. 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 All right, thank you guys.
All right, up next, Ricky Marvel is going to be playing some music for us, everybody.
I like to see my brother-in-law, but he never likes to call it his big palace.
Okay, I'm gonna do some songs.
Okay, yeah, I know. I think
Let's do this first.
how you feel like
Keep it going. My name is Ricky Marvel. I'm a woman. I'm beautiful. And I'm trans. Have I mentioned that? And I've got enough love to fill all the houses. And I've got dreams like everyone else. And to the trans folks out there, treat me with respect. And if you can't come correct, don't look at me, don't talk to me, don't think about me. We've been here since the beginning of time, and we ain't going nowhere. Batteries rather empty. I guess you were right. You were so patient with me. You know what else is so perfect? Though I'm a crank right now, I rise up and bounce back again. Different moods, different shades, up and down and up again. When I'm down, I need to heal for some love in the meantime. I was lying to myself this whole time. I was being mean. I hope you find peace. I hope I do too. I'm sorry. A
love you. All right. I want to say something. So, well, I want to say that trans people come from all different backgrounds. We're not just influencers. We're not just people on your phone. We're average Joes. We're average people, okay? So, yeah. I don't know. Next song is Social Capital. This song is about, it's me dreaming of standing up and taking my power back. Exercising my bodily autonomy. It's called Social Capital. I see you look at me and you think you understand me. Another badge for your coat. You want to use me. I'm on your checklist. Another step for your staircase that you walk all over. I know there's one thing that I'm certain. It's that you don't know me. I've traveled many miles. I've worked on myself. I know what I want and what I need. And guess what? You can't have it. You can't have it. You can't have my social capital for free. You have to earn it. I get to choose who uses me, baby. I've been down this road. I've broken the chains. I've taken back my autonomy. And now I am free. You can't have my social capital for free. Nuh-uh. You can't have it. All right, this next song is called No Regrets. It's about the path forward in just being trans and finding the light at the end of the tunnel, but kind of recognizing all the people you lose along the way. Yeah. Jesus Christ, I am cold. So built a fire to keep me warm. I'll stare at its flames and wear a hole in two. 1,000 years of this cold. I've waited so long and I feel old. The past is gone, forgotten memories. But if I were to start again, I wouldn't hesitate. I would do it again, 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 do it again. Bass solo. One more. Jesus Christ, I am strong. My fire burned all night long, and with its flames I can see my way to this world in her pretty ways. 2,000 years and it's gone. I've waited so long, but now I'm home, and it's too bad you can't see me shine. To this world I have no regrets. I would do it again. I would do it again. I would do it again. I would do it again.
All right, our first speaker is Reverend Susan Phillips with First Presbyterian.
I decided just to wear a little bit of color today. My name is Susan Phillips. I am the 15th pastor of First Presbyterian Church. Some of y'all know it for the big red doors. Some of you know it for the rainbow doors. We're right down the street and everybody's welcome. I'm here as one of the congregations in a new organization that came into existence in the last 2 years called United. The signs here. We started as 7 congregations. We are now up to 11. We are not all Christian. You can cheer that. And if you go somewhere where you are not loved, know that there are other places you will be. It's my honor to be invited to speak here today, and I'm here as a pastor, as a parent, as a trans parent, as a person, as a colleague of trans folks, of non-binary folks, of gender expansive folks who have been a blessing to my life and my faith. Is that true for you? I'm here because there is erasure going on, and that is not okay. Yes? I'm here because erasure is part of patriarchy and sexism, and that is not okay. Yes? Yes. I'm here because there are theologies running rampant in our country that are lethal, and that is not okay. Yes? Yes. Lethal theologies have nothing to do, in my opinion, with anything that is divine or right or good or just or loving. Pastor, so I'm going to get theological just for a moment, and then we can go on to the political things, the sociological things, the activist things that we need to do. But I want to tell you that there is a Presbyterian church in San Francisco that has a big banner out front that says, God is the original they, them. Yeah. For those who are not biblical scholars, please know that in the Hebrew, the pronouns for God are plural. And when God creates in Genesis, God creates male and female in God's own image. Now, let me be clear, that is not a binary statement. In the same way that God creates light and dark, God also creates every moment in between. God creates day and night and every space, every second in between. So when God creates male and female, God creates every person in between and beyond. Yes? And it is my belief that we are all made in the image of God. And you are not religious, that's cool too. I will be louder than the train. We will be louder than the train, yes! We are here because black and brown trans folks have led the way, yes? We are here because black and brown and trans folks have led the way to liberation, yes? Yes! We are here because black and brown and trans folks create visions, write songs, create beautiful ideas of freedom, yes? Yes! We are here because none of us are free, yes? Yes! None of us are free? Yes! Say it, none of us are free? None of us are free? None of us are free? Until all of us are free. None of us are free. Until all of us are free. None of us are free. Until all of us are free. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. And up next is me, if I may. Hello, friends. I'm Leanne Withrow. I'm a local writer, a daughter, a parent, partner, and a U.S. Army veteran. I am so many things. And yet, there are many people who only see me as one thing, trans. So, let's talk about it. 15 years ago today, I raised my right hand and swore to uphold the Constitution of the United States. I was a skinny, 19-year-old all-American boy, at least as far as my recruiter knew. And for 13 years, I wore my uniform with pride. I wore our nation's flag with pride and with faith in the promise it represented. I went where I was asked, from the Arctic to the Middle East, from Korea to Guantanamo Bay. And I gave it my all every single day, trusting that my nation had my back. In 2016, on the promise of open service, I came out of the closet. I didn't know it yet. However, I soon found out that I was the first openly transgender service member in the Illinois National Guard. When the ban on transgender service went back into effect, less than a year later via a tweet, I found out I would be the only out trans soldier in Illinois for the foreseeable future. Being the first of anything is intimidating, make no mistake, especially when you're alone. The spotlight hits you hard. And still, I found allies, supporters, and friends who cared about the character of my service, not my gender identity. I met thousands of transgender service members who wanted, and still want, nothing more than to serve our country with honor. I also began to see the deep hypocrisy that surrounds our community. I served a nation that made it more and more clear that they didn't want me. When you're the only one, you can be sure that there are people who want to see you fail, watching your every movement. I knew, though, that I wouldn't be alone forever. A few years later, the ban was lifted, and more of my siblings were able to serve openly, authentically, and with pride. I served as long as I was able to, until injuries acquired over more than a decade of service caught up to me and led to a medical retirement in 2023. Yet even as I stepped away from the career I loved and the community we had built, I believed we were on the right path. Now, with a new ban on the horizon, the lives of transgender veterans and service members are again being thrown into chaos. Our healthcare, our careers, our livelihoods, our service, and our safety are all under threat. Instead of quietly serving with dignity, we find ourselves once more thrust into the spotlight as political currency. So let me be clear. This moment is not just about visibility. We are visible, and we are being targeted in state houses, in healthcare systems, in schools, in our own neighborhoods. This is a coordinated effort to erase trans lives, and especially the idea that trans people are equal, capable, and ready to serve our communities. So I have news for those that want us gone. Trans people are not a problem to be solved. We are a community to be embraced. We are your neighbors, your teachers, your children, your veterans. We are a part of the fabric of this nation. So here's the honest truth. Individually, none of us has that much power. None of us can shape the nation alone. And yet we cannot sit idle. A great man once said that the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. So I urge you, do something. When we unify, our legislators cannot ignore us. When we come together as a community, businesses cannot ignore us. And no policymaker can compete with collective action. If you truly believe in the promise of America, in the notion that we are all equal, I urge you to use your voice, your vote, and your pocketbook to make it clear where you stand. Thank you. And up next, we have Salem Madison King.
Happy Trans Day of Vengeance, everybody. My name is Salem Addison King, and I am the Secretary of the Land of Lincoln Democratic Socialists of America, as well as the coordinator for its gardening and queer mutual aid working groups. I am also the chair of the Central Illinois Abortion Coalition, who was in this same spot just last week, counter-protesting the March for Life. The following is a heavily shortened draft of a poem that is currently blowing away in the wind, and I have written for an anthology that Dave Briggs will soon be publishing, so when he does, give him your money. And it is called One Must Imagine Sisyphus Breaking the Boulder. For a while now, I've been identifying myself as an absurdist. But there is one thing I can never wrap my head around. I don't want to fix this. I simply cannot imagine Sisyphus happy. I cannot imagine finding happiness in an unending oppression. I do not want to change this about myself. The first moment I cannot imagine being happy and would not want to. I'm at the top of the stairwell, back pressed tightly against the dry wall, feet and ass planted firmly on the tacky beige carpet, head between my knees, hands trying to wipe away tears that just aren't coming. He tried to fucking kill himself. He tried to fucking kill himself. I repeat it over and over in my head. My best friend tried to fucking kill himself. This moment alters me profoundly, or rather, the moment immediately after, when I pick myself up off the tacky beige carpet and I write him a letter for his parents to bring him in the hospital. It's not much, but it's what I can do. I have since done many things like this for many different people. I cannot imagine finding anything but tragedy and stress while doing so. I don't want to change this. I only want to find joy when I see my best friend again. When I realized how I never really saw him smile before now, and we pace around our school's playground just talking. When I learned that my letter actually helped. This is joyful. I'm showing him the woods behind my parents' house. He keeps smiling and telling me how creeks are so much cooler than rivers, and chases me with a pigeon mask, and maybe for the first time in my life, I know what it's like to feel this way. I am so fucking happy, and recognizing that requires no imagination. I never see him again. So there's this girl at my high school. In a couple weeks, I learned how to time my dash for the bus line so I can get there when she does, and we can talk on our ride to the transit station. Her father's a fucking psychopath. I did the best I could. I did everything I knew how to do as a dumb fucking teenager, but it wasn't enough. I still wasn't good enough. How much harder do I have to keep pushing this fucking boulder before it stops crushing everyone beneath it? What kind of fucking psychopath could find happiness in this?
Right.
I just wanted to be your friend. I just wanted to keep my friends safe. 2.5 years later, it's 10 p.m. and I gotta get up at 4 a.m. for a fishing tournament. But my prep work ain't done and there's no way in hell I'm disappointing my team tomorrow. I will not fail. I have learned far too many times what failure entails. And if I do good tomorrow, maybe I can come out to my teammates and we'll take it well. So carefully I look over each and every lure. Spinnerbaits should do well with the sharp, sandy drop-offs and underwater structure. Soon we're blaring down country roads, barreling down country roads, blaring sea shanties and horror soundtracks. We will get first place. Last tournament we got second. Rain and hail poured down on us for 8 fucking hours and we got second. So today we're getting first. As I get on the boat, I see a message from my old new best friend Levi, who's the only person I've come out to so far, because he's one of the only queer people I even know at this point, even if we've only talked once in the last 4 years for complicated reasons. Good mythical morning. He drew me, with better hair than I'll ever have, and I know I can do this. I know I can make them all proud, even the ones I'll never see again. We didn't catch a single fish. On the drive back, I think about coming out to them anyways. Me and my teammates argue one last time, and I never even got the chance to. I get home and I try more than anything to just fucking cry, and I can't. I've only cried twice since April 24th, 2017 at 9:03 p.m. The boulder crushed me this time. There's only one thing left to do. Run away. So I run as far as I can, about 40 miles west. All my friends are supposed to be there. Levi is the only one who makes it. As we're leaving for some Casey's Pizza, my neighbor's door opens. She looks at us for less time than it took me to type this sentence, my having come out less than a month prior and Levi having been out as a trans man for years, and asks if we want to go to a gay bar with her. Soon I'm trying to keep pace with her in 90-degree heat through the streets of Chicago with hundreds of people behind me. What do we want? She screams into the same megaphone we've been trading back and forth for years and years. Medicare for all! I try my best to match her volume, failing. If we don't get it, she smiles at the camera, shut it down! By that point, I'd already lost 2 jobs. I quit being a Walmart janitor after 2 weeks. I had no choice but to quit my union construction job, which was the only thing I moved for. And I tried to run away again, but there was nowhere to run to, so I just walked until my legs couldn't carry me anymore, shamefully returning to my apartment wishing I'd brought water. My neighbor was coming home from work as I shambled down our street. I told her my name for the first time my name ever left my quivering lips. Sailor. Although I still told her she could use my dead name if she preferred. I don't know if it was pity, empathy, or familiarity that compelled her to give me a purpose in that moment, but she invited me to that march, and for the first time in my life, I wasn't the only one pushing the boulder. It's been 8 years now. 8 years of failing, hurting, and improving, only for the boulder to roll faster and faster, scraping the flesh off my hands. Just to spend a single day with my friend. Just to barely speak with my neighbor anymore. Spending every day working from 9 a.m. to midnight just to try and make this world a better place. Was it all really worth it? I couldn't possibly think of a stupider question. I will see Levi again. I will create a world that deserves him. I will make sure my neighbor knows how much I appreciate her. I will do what I set out to do on the day that I wrote that letter and realize that what I do can matter, and it matters that I do it. I will keep my friends safe. The world is fucked and people die. I cannot change this. I'm going to try. I'm going to succeed. I am going to find love and joy and gentleness amongst all the fucked shit, because goddammit, it's what we all deserve to find. I don't care if it's possible. I am going to break the boulder. And if you believe there is even a chance this world can become a better and kinder place, then so will you. You need not be happy. You need not be the last one to swing. You need not be the strongest to shatter the whole fucking boulder. You need only to believe in joyfulness. You need only to be surrounded by those you love. You need only to keep swinging and swinging and swinging until the job is done to shatter the whole fucking boulder. So come on, grab a chisel and a hammer. We'll alternate our swings. Keep going. Together now. as long as it takes to shatter the whole fucking boulder. We will no longer have to imagine ourselves happy when the whole fucking boulder is shattered. I was serious about giving Dave your money.
All right, thank you. Up next, we have Carrie Goebel-Billick. How close do I have to be? Good afternoon, friends. Let's make it taller, too. Maybe not. Good afternoon, friends. 3 years ago this June, I celebrated my 20th year living full-time as myself. In those decades, I have attended countless support groups and mentored hundreds, thousands, I don't know how many people in similar situations to let them know that help is available. That while a difficult path, there is light at the end. Are you gonna make it taller for me? 3 years later, I find myself and those I supported despised daily for being honest, persecuted and vilified by our own federal government. Until recently, I felt a great deal of guilt over that, as if I'd led us all to the killing floor. I've been away. But friends, I'm here today with my chin up. I feel no shame and make no excuses for my honesty. But MAGA Republicans and assorted transphobes, please hear me before you hate me. When I began transition, I worked at the newspaper in a nearby city. A month before I was to begin HRT, I met with my manager and the HR manager to inform them. The paper reacted in a way that a friend told me that was the worst possible way a business could respond. You decide. A meeting was held in the cafeteria, which sported a giant glass wall. And every single employee at the paper was in that meeting, except for me. I wasn't away, I was still working. I was watching them decide how they were going to deal with me, with no voice in the meeting from the other side of the glass. It's not too indifferent than where we find ourselves today, but on a much larger scale. Political words and actions are taken against us daily, personally, and then updated every hour on the hour. All the while we watch from outside the glass, still working. Friends, our story is important. Your story is important. We're underrepresented and thereby largely misunderstood. So I ask that you share your story. Do so without anger. Do so without excuse. Do so with love. Share hardships others might not consider. Share the friendships you've forged along the way. Share the anxiety you feel every time you see a tacky red hat walking your way. And when they call this a lifestyle or a choice, ask who would choose a lifestyle that is this persecuted and hated regularly. We no more choose to be trans than a southpaw chooses to bat on the right side of the plate. In my experience, deeply religious and conservative people
It's my experience that deeply religious people and conservative people can understand that without compromising their beliefs through honest discourse and candid conversation. Dr. Howard Cutler wrote in the book The Art of Happiness, quoting the Dalai Lama, "There are three things all of us have in common. We're all born, we all die, and in between, without exception, we all suffer." Are you going to use that knowledge to stay turtled up and suffer alone? Or will you add your voice to the choir and find compromise in hopes to heal, educate, and unify? You decide.
All right. Trans lives matter. 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 Black 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 trans lives matter. Protect trans kids. Protect trans kids. Protect trans kids. Protect trans kids. All right. Our next speaker is Jordan Duncan.
It's fine. Well, there's a little chip, but it's on the protector. Thank you. Thank you. Originally, I wrote this for other purposes, but it seemed thematically appropriate. My girlfriend showed me a post today that said, "Visibility without protection is a threat." I can see that. There's a political apparatus poised with intent to attack us. Early this month, I saw another headline about another cis young black lesbian named Kiala Morton entered a bathroom in Arizona, immediately and stormed two men in Pima County Sheriff's Department uniforms to forcibly remove her. They told her she didn't look like a woman. It isn't lost on me the only men in the room wore a uniform. What exactly is a woman? What exactly makes you a woman? You're not a woman because of your hormone levels, your breasts, your genitals, your clothes, or your chromosomes. It's revealing what kind of person someone is when they define woman by the things the patriarchy values most: an incubator. From conservatives to neo-Nazis, trans-exclusionary radical feminists, to apolitical men who haven't fucked in years because they can't help but put their foot in their mouths, to the women who make the agonizing miscalculation of granting them basic human decency, mistaken instantly for flirtation thanks to the assumption that a woman and a man cannot interact without intentions untoward. When a person begins to define womanhood by a vagina, by the lack of a Y chromosome, by the large gamete, they shout from the mountaintop what aspect of womanhood they consider valuable. It's telling how trans-exclusionary radical movements call for men to do violence on women for their supposed safety. However, their adult human female drivel always seems to fall short, excluding some person or another they must begrudgingly either concede is a woman, proclaiming her an anomaly or an aberration for her failure to live up to the role, or strongly declare that this person is not a real woman. This is because what makes one a woman doesn't fall upon biological, but social and experiential criterion. You're a woman when a man interrupts you mid-sentence and starts going on and on and on. You realize, oh, God! This man is going to be on his soapbox for another hour straight, and I have to tolerate watching him enjoy the sound of his voice, and I can't finish at my thoughts at any point because then I'll be a rude bitch for daring to interrupt. You're a woman when you realize you aren't safe walking around alone at night. You're a woman when you get told to smile through all the rage, to be quieter and more pleasant about being treated like property. You're a woman when there's a higher bar of entry for spending time alone with someone. One is not born a woman, as was said by Simone de Beauvoir, later becoming the title Monique Wittig's work defining womanhood by essentially class relations. Woman is a socio-political and economic paradigm. Woman changes with society. What jobs a woman holds, the planned outline of her life, the social protocols she must follow, and the roles she must fulfill generally take similar shape, but have shifted slightly as a result of some material condition or another. This reality is no matter. Domestic labor is still labeled as inherently woman work by societies, usually European descended societies, which followed models laid out thousands of years prior. Woman, therefore, remains inherently tied to unpaid and underappreciated domestic labor by societal expectation. It's a set of rules to live by, but fuck that. Rules are made to be broken. Womanhood was a construct designed by men, ruling over a civilization just as they discovered how to write in order to secure assurances that their child is theirs. Despite playing no part in bearing the damn thing for 9 months and nurturing it, they did not lose a third of the nutrients in their body. They did not lose a third of the nutrients in their body. They did not suffer the labor of agony, and yet, because the woman is theirs, it stands to reason, so ought be the child. Woman is defined by her relation to men as the proletariat to the bourgeoisie. It is a class, and decidedly an oppressed class, a second class. Her womb might have been the starting point, but the construction of that class goes much further and demands far more. Woman has been defined consistently through written history by oppression, property status, by childbearing, by servitude. Woman is valued most when seen, not heard. Biting back her righteous screams, woman is the name of the only known wife of Sargon, inscribed on the side of an ornate piece of pottery, roughly translating to war prize. More recently, womanhood takes new defining characteristics. A struggle against oppression. She is a class several generations into a millennia-long struggle to reclaim her power. What is a woman? Someone sick and tired of being sick and tired. What is a woman? As I was saying before I was interrupted, what is a woman? Do not fucking touch me. Woman is a hot pink 380 concealed up in a purse opposite an individual first aid kit. Woman is banding together to form a whisper network to ensure an abuser cannot operate without notice. Woman is community, solidarity, class consciousness. One becoming a woman is direct challenge to those who benefit from their definition of woman. Woman is we will protect each other because we damn sure aren't about to trust protection against those who are our largest statistical danger. Woman is rebellion against those who maintain power granted when an equal society was usurped by kings whose names are followed by egregious embellishments of their deeds, lifetimes in justification to rule on stone, carved beside stories where they compare the treatment of the lands they say a goddess granted them to rape. Woman is unappreciated and therefore underestimated. A woman is me. You see me now? Thank you for your time.
Next up is Lilith.
Sorry, give me 1 second here. I've written what I wanted to say. And boy howdy is my screen not very bright. Hi, so yeah, my name is Lilith. For those of you who don't know me, I work at the public library. It's just down the road. Feel free to stop in. I'll be more than happy to give you book recommendations. Fair warning, they probably won't be great, but I'll at least do my best. For those of you who do know me, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing up here either. Especially considering how much I hate speaking and crowds, but you know what, this seemed important enough to, stand up here and speak. So, here's a riddle for everyone. What do lesbians, Assassin's Creed 2, and folk rock band Steam Powered Giraffe have in common? If you guessed My Trans Awakening, you're correct. Although, if you're my dad, you would probably instead say that was a result of me going to college and being brainwashed by liberals. So I grew up in a traditional Roman Catholic family. And I ardently held on to the beliefs, most of which were problematic. And I had an unfortunate tendency to expectorate those onto anyone who would listen and plenty of who would not listen without a single thought. That changed in 2011 when I entered 12th grade. After having my beliefs shaken at a fundamental level over the summer, a story which is in and of itself completely long and not going to get into today, I befriended a fellow student in an art class and fell for them very fast. It took me months to get up the courage to even ask a mutual friend about them, and I was tragically informed that this person was a lesbian, and my chances with them were nil. They did, however, drive a large nail through the coffin that was holding my Catholic beliefs. After all, homosexuals were evil, hell-bent monsters, and they were not simply energetic, amusing people. If Catholicism was wrong about that, though, what else could they have been wrong about? Enter Assassin's Creed 2. A game I was admittedly somewhat late to playing as it had come out some 4 years prior in 2008. I'll spare most of you the details and the plot because it is incredibly convoluted. But what I will say is that it's a historical action game and the main villain is Rodrigo de Borgia. For those of you who don't know that name, Borgia later became Pope Alexander VI, a person who is very real. He was very much corrupt, did a lot of very bad things, and he was also very much in charge of the Catholic Church. As I was leaving high school and going into college, though, it made me realize if there's one pope with a deep and perhaps troubling story, a man who's in charge of an entire religion, what else might the other popes be hiding? And suddenly, a second nail had been driven into my Catholic faith. That then brings me to 2014 and a little band that's part vaudeville, part folk music. Though Steam Powered Giraffe formed in 2008, and I'd been listening to them during college, in 2014 something changed. One of the band's founding members, previously going by the stage name of Rabbit, became Bunny. I, sitting in the back of my sister's car, listening to the band, already questioning some things about myself, and now unabashedly separated from my religious foundations, heard a woman singing a song with accompaniment by a male musician with a higher voice. Baffled at the idea that a woman could have a deeper voice and it be okay, I pointed this out to my sister, who, not knowing at my questioning, responded with the equivalent of, yeah, and? In that moment, perhaps, the pieces long since cracked began to slip away, revealing something underneath. This story is undoubtedly simplified, and it's missing nuance, but it's also who I am. I, a hateful, homophobic, adolescent teenage boy, now stand before you as a proud, happy woman. I'd shown none of those telltale signs that would have clued my parents in on the truth, assuming they would not have instead insisted I dress as a boy, play with trucks, and leave my mom's makeup alone. I am left to wonder, however, how much that would have changed who I am today. If I had been shown a transgender woman who was not just a caricature, not a throwaway gag, not the butt of a joke, not some evil monster, but another human being, a real person, would it have changed who I became? We can't change the past, but we can be that someone for the people who come after us, who are afraid, or even for those who don't know yet. Thank you.
So far, we still have some speakers to come. Woo! All right. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. When trans rights are under attack, stand up, fight back. When trans rights are under attack, stand up, fight back. When trans rights are under attack, stand up, fight back. When trans rights are under attack, stand up, fight back. All right. Next up, we have Dan Fraiche.
Reverend Dan with the Roman Catholic Women Priests. What do you think about that? Dear ones, there's a powerful moment in an ancient account when Jesus found himself to be a rather curious guest at an uncomfortable dinner gathering with some prominent religious leaders. And into the scene comes a woman, identified as the known sinner, who moves to where Jesus is. She anoints his feet with precious ointment, weeps over them, and then wipes his feet with her hair in this intimate action. Nestled in the story of acceptance and forgiveness is a vital message for us here that anoints our anguish and one that affirms today's intent. The leaders are incensed by what love has done, but instead of returning their scorn, the one who was love turned towards the woman and then spoke to his host saying, "Simon, do you see this woman?" He knew that until they could see her, they would remain blind to love's summons and remain steeped in darkness. And so to you, my kin, who are gathered here today, please know that there are many of us who are now compelled to respond to love's question and look your way and to marvel at your courage as you make your journey towards personal authenticity, to note your deep pain as a result, and yes, to celebrate your emergence in full color, vibrancy, and a renewed sense of gladness and freedom for having arrived into yourselves. A people living into God's deep narrative being written through you. And because of what we've seen, there are a determined number of us from within the world of faith communities who now look to our peers and we say to them, family, friends, neighbors, nation, do you see these transgender souls? We say it with glad invitation, but also with a keen sense that until they do see you, they will never fully respond to love's invitation in their own lives. Woo. How wondrously mysterious and marvelous it is that you have become the key to others' realizations as loving people from within the church and the world. Yes, you have become the very lens from which they are called to see. So amidst these often disturbing and unsettling times that we're living through, I humbly come before you as a proxy for that growing number of those who do see you more clearly those who delight in telling you that you are cherished, that you are valued, and you are beautiful. May you come to realize that you've become the unexpected icons of love's presence in our world, a world that receives blessing when beholding you today. I see you, I hear you. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Frichet. Up next, we have Sherry Wolf.
Hello, can you hear me? My name is Sherry. I am one of 4 sisters, and I have 2 daughters. So imagine my surprise in 2008 when my daughter gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. And they named him Leo. About 5.5 years later, she had a daughter, and they named her Nora. Now, not to brag, but my grandchildren are beautiful and smart and creative and brave and kind and funny. But now, Leo goes by Sarah. And Nora goes by Raymond. Don't get me wrong, they are still beautiful and funny and brave and creative and kind. When they were little, I used to dream about what they'd become and how the world was open to them. They could do anything. They could be anything. And now, because they're trans, I worry. I am scared shitless for them. And I don't know what to do about it. I worry that they're going to be targeted. I worry that they're going to be discriminated against. I worry. And so I so appreciate all of you, anybody else who is a Nana of trans grands. You understand. I love them fiercely and without question, but I'm scared.
Up next, we have Boris Bernardoni.
Hello, everyone. My name is Boris Bernardoni. I go by he, him, and I don't exactly look like a trans man that you'd usually think of, but that really doesn't matter in this day and age. I came here today to tell you all, trans men, trans women, non-binary, agender, and gender fluid individuals, everything you do is queer. Queerness is like a blanket of comfort that wraps around you, the sunshine that shines down on you and warms your skin, and the beating in your soul that pumps the queer blood through your queer veins. Nothing, no silence or violence can kill your queerness. Queerness will sprout through the cracks of oppression over and over because you can't kill something that is born again. With that being said, I'll use my queer voice to share with you a poem I made about my trans experience as a man trapped inside a woman's body. Content warning, this poem is queer. This poem is called, Will You Call Me Your Son? I can't deny the woman that surrounds me, swaddling me like a mother that just won't let go of the idea of a daughter. The secretion that drips from my sex, a stain on every garment I put between my legs. My body has a mind of its own, and we don't talk. She feels with her body the disdain, the dread, the sex, the fear, all woman, viscera without thought, a hollow expansion of flesh that hides what I truly am from the world. More than flesh, I am man. The only time I feel like a woman is when I feel with my body and not my mind, becoming the flesh that surrounds me, the disdain, the dread, and the sex. The flesh becomes tight and it almost feels like as if it's my own. Thank you. I wanted to take this moment to remind everyone this is not the time for discourse or division. While trans people across this country have their rights taken away from them, every form of gender expression is valid, even if you don't understand it. If we continue on a path of trying to be perceived as one of the good ones, the rights of more LGBTQ+ members will be stripped away. Fight for the community that fights for you.
And finally, we have David M. Briggs.
Good afternoon. My name is David M. Briggs.
For now.
But you can call me Dave, or you can call me Hal. You can call me he, or she, or they, anything you like, as long as you're nice and have fun with it. We hear a lot, seen a lot of people on Facebook saying things like, oh, you weren't transgender, genderqueer 10 years ago. And maybe, if you don't count 2013, the way this slowly unfolded for me, or in 2011, meeting the first non-binary person I'd ever met, or in 2009, singing the Rocky Road to Dublin at Chest Fest to raise money for my friend Aiden's top surgery, or if you don't go back to when I was 3 and got in trouble twice for wanting my sister to paint my nails. But if that's not enough evidence, we could go back a little bit further. I am the light. I am the waters above the dome and the waters below the dome. I am the man and the woman cast out for their cravings, and I am the seed sown from their love and their lust. I am a cell. I am a splinter. I am a shapeshifter. I sing the rage of Achilles and the grief of Gilgamesh. I sing the metamorphoses and the romance of round tables. You may find me in Kojiki, in the Journey to the West, in the eldest of the Eddas, in Midrash, Mahabharata. I am David, the psalmist. I am Sappho, the 10th muse. I am Shakespeare, alive forever in rhyme. I, Walt Whitman, contradiction barbaric. I, Langston Hughes, bathed in ancient rivers. I, Mary Oliver, in the family of things. I am Taliesin, the poet immortal, and I am every single face in this crowd. Yes, I am you, and yes, you are me, and from the sea of our souls, we cry out with one voice. For freedom, for dignity, for kindness, for justice. We are the lovers, the healers, the fighters, and our cry echoes on from the legends on down that we are here. That we have always been here. And when the last scrap of hatred has been blown away, we remain. We persist. And we live. And we love. And we sing. And And we sing! And we sing for forever!
We've got a couple of messages from the organizers before we transition to a more informal gathering. Aaron?
Well, I just want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, and and I want to especially thank all the organizers who helped put this together, especially Leanne and Callie and Malia, Sherry and Nicole. I don't think I'm missing anybody. And we also had a little bit of help from a national organization. It's a new group that just got founded back in January called the Trans Unity Coalition. And they helped out us getting our permit, and they gave us an organizing space online to do our communications, and they were really helpful. And they sent a message to share with you all, which is that the Trans Unity Coalition is going to be marching on the capital of Washington, D.C. on Saturday, June 14th, and they are inviting you all to join them. All right, but thank you again. Thank you again for coming out.
Callie, do you want to say a couple words?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone as well. Thank you all for joining us today in celebration of the Transgender Day of Visibility. Your presence, your voices, and your support make a difference, not just today, but every day. Together, we stand for visibility, for equality, and for the right of every transgender person to live openly, safely, and authentically. To all of the speakers, and all of the volunteers, and everyone who came out and made today possible, thank you for your dedication and your hard work. This is not the end though. We have to carry this energy forward. We have to continue to fight for justice. We have to hold our elected officials accountable. And we have to make sure that visibility leads to lasting change. Stay safe, stay proud, and keep making your voices heard. Thank you.
All right, we ain't leaving yet. We've got a little more time, some more chants, camaraderie, and love. But on behalf of the organizers, I also want to speak to all of you who came out here today to be a part of this. This rally is not about division. It's about uniting all people in the fight for fairness and equality. We encourage allies and members of the community to stand with transgender individuals, as your support is vital in breaking down barriers and combating discrimination. The event is a call to action for everyone to protect the rights and dignity of transgender people, especially in light of recent setbacks. With that being said, I want to personally extend my thanks to each and every one of you. It is in community that we find our greatest strength, and you have all demonstrated that today our community is not backing down. Thank you.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never